fucking Christ.
My name is
Roadbreach.
I'm 27 years old, and I'm in a serious relationship with my car.
I've been fucking cars since I love doing it. No, but I'm the stupid bitch.
You know, man, I couldn't agree more. So this was a video I had not at all planned to make, but you know, I guess it goes to show just how much I underestimated the power of mental gymnastics. Seeing how we're quite literally dealing with a man so desperate to be correct, he's made yet another video on me that's harboring on being literal slander. I mean, he literally even says he wanted to slander me in his quote-unquote apology video.
Out of all the petty things I've started, this has to be one of the pettiest. Not only did I call Lucas things he wasn't, but I kept perpetuating this whole thing because I'm very quick to anger and I wanted to hear someone admit that I was right. There was one point when Lucas commented on a video of someone who tagged me just to get a rise out of me, and I was going to use that as ammo against him. It's bad enough that I made those two videos on someone for the pettiest reason imaginable, but going to the point of trying to slander someone is flat out vile. But then I thought to myself, no, you're better than that.
What, you want a fucking cookie?
So, you want a cookie?
Oh, so I love how we uploaded this quote-unquote apology video, wants to act all civil and nice only after I, and several others announced that they would be responding to his video. You know, it's all very convenient, but as my friend My Name is Def will put it,
if you don't want the smoke, don't ignite the fire.
like, it's honestly getting fucking beyond retarded at this point. But for those out of the loop, around 6 to 7 months ago, a friend of mine played one of my videos on stream, and among the viewers was none other than a motherfucker called Roadbreach, or the Furry Carman as I like to call him. But following that stream, the dude would go on to peruse throughout my channel like an obsessed ex-girlfriend, leaving dozens of comments that I'm pretty sure gave me brain damage. I mean, like 90% of them were just really petty, and nitpicking jokes that flew over his dense fucking skull. Most notably being the one where he got his panties in a wad over me calling the PlayStation DualSense controller a vibrator as a joke in reference to the haptic feedback shit that's built in, and then try to frame it as me trying to say it had no value or some shit despite me owning one. But following that little shit show, I kinda dropped the whole thing and forgot about it entirely up until like last month when he uploaded the infamous video titled xLukaz is a disingenuous liar. And holy shit dude, that video was so bad it caused me to come out of retirement. Which another thing I should mention is that this motherfucker uploaded a video regurgitating 6-month-old drama, which was over and done with, during a period of time in which I had quit YouTube and didn't plan on coming back due to completely unrelated reasons. I mean, it's almost as if this dude saw an opportunity to strike whilst I was unlikely to respond. But anyway, I ended up making a response, which I recommend watching it if you haven't already. As well, it's not 100% necessary to understand what's currently going on. It still showcases Roadbreach's retardation and hypocrisy at its finest. But following the video's release, Roadbreach made a community post praising the video, and for a while it looked like the drama was gonna end right in there.
I honestly can't say I disagree with what Lucas said here, and I can't say I wasn't laughing with him using live clips of me as the underlay when reading my comments. After thinking it over though, xLukaz basically proved me correct on some things.
Well, that didn't age well. As far as the other points he made in that community post, I'll address them later as it becomes relevant. Anyway, after his little meltdown, he went to bitch and moan on near stream where he got the bright idea to challenge me to a live debate.
Yeah, see, Roadbreach, at the end of the day, I think you should just debate with Lucas instead of just coping on stream.
Roadbreach and Lucas debate one.
And spoiler alert, the debate will go on to solve absolutely fucking nothing, seeing how after a series of events he's now made yet another video on me, simply titled xLukaz Rant. And as far as the debate and the following aftermath, I'll cover everything in detail a bit later on so I don't have to repeat myself 1,000 fucking times. But with all that out of the way, let's get straight into this shit.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, you know, those 3 exact words are probably what I would myself use in response to this never-ending cycle of retardation, courtesy of Roadbreach here.
I wanted to leave this where it was and forget that anything happened whatsoever, but considering you couldn't keep your repulsive fucking mouth shut about me...
So because of 4 random Discord messages, you decided to dig this drama back up from the grave. Like, dude, are you being serious right now? Also, I find it ironic this is the same guy claiming I won't stop talking about him, when he's the one who made 2 separate videos on me, several fucking community posts antagonizing me, as well as a never-ending barrage of comments. Talk about being unself-aware.
The fact that your video is 50-50 split between on point and missing it completely.
Considering the fact you only respond to a handful of cherry-picked statements from a video, I think that percentage is definitely a little more skewed in my favor, to say the very least.
And intend to make yet another horrendous video on me.
I guess we're gonna gloss over the fact that the community post I made was in response to your community post where you literally insinuate you're gonna make another video on me. All because I called you a retard on Discord.
It's pretty hard for me to not make a video when you don't want to do another debate, and this cocksucker reacts like this to me saying something that would otherwise have been no big deal whatsoever. If you want me to not keep this drama going, you should have made peace with it yourself. You keep going after me for every little thing I say in this fucking server. If you want to keep doing this shit with me, then don't be surprised that the drama hasn't fucking stopped, because your necrotic ass wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. I'm trying to leave it in the past, but he just won't shut the fuck up because I've made a video on him and dared to have problems with the video he made on. Like Valve releasing one game and a demo somehow means that I shouldn't criticize Valve for not doing much of anything, besides taking some of the profits from Steam that they decided to not use to moderate the fucking platform.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! Where? I don't wanna fucking hear it!
I mean, dude, please point to where I said you couldn't criticize my video or Valve. Like, dude, you're just putting words in my mouth and moving the goalpost. The original point of contention was Herman saying that Valve hadn't released any content recently. And now we're talking about Steam moderation or some shit. Also, what the fuck does this have anything to do with me calling you a retard on Discord?
I might as well make your job harder for you by making a rant.
You know, if anything, in the hilarious turn of events, you making this video has made my job a lot easier and showing people just how utterly retarded, hypocritical, and unhinged you really are. I mean, this shit has escalated to the point of multiple people planning to respond to you as soon as my video drops. So congratulations, dude, you played yourself.
Hey everyone, Roadbreach here, and I'm making another video on xLukaz. I didn't want it to come to this. I swear on my collection of plastic that I didn't.
But anyway, you hear that, guys? He swears on his wall of virginity that he didn't want it to come to this. I mean, it's not like he was actively looking for the smallest shit imaginable he could try to use against me, right? Right? Oh, wait.
There was one point when Lucas commented on a video of someone who tagged me just to get a rise out of me, and I was going to use that as ammo against him.
You know, honestly, I think to further get my point across, I just show you this comment he was gonna try and weaponize against me. I mean, it must have been some of the most vile, awful shit known to humankind if he thought it was worth noting. Are you guys ready? You are? Well, alright then, drum roll, please. Dude, are you fucking serious? Me commenting LOL's what sent you over the edge. Get over yourself, you fucking pansy.
But seeing as how Lucas wouldn't shut the fuck up about me in Psychonautic Therapy's server...
Alright, let's take a look at these screenshots this Mongol would attach to send him into a Winter Soldier episode. So first up, Psychonautic Therapy shows some weird-ass furry ad he got on YouTube. So I reply with the words Roadbreach reaction and that one meme video of Donald Duck choking his rooster. You know, truly some despicable shit on my part, lightly poking fun at a self-admitted furry. Next up is a dude on Discord showing a screenshot of some random search results, so I reply with Roadbreach search history. Following that is a stupid little shitpost I made of a Shutterstock image of a car with legs and an autism hat I poorly edited on, mocking his stupid little avatar with the words Roadbreach docs. You know, guys, at this point I'm essentially a war criminal, but I want you guys to remember this one image in particular, as it'll come up again in a bit. And last but not least, I called him a retard after he said he hates me, Canyon, and you gotta love his reaction.
Oh yes, I'm retarded for not being amused by animations made to try and make me feel uncomfortable. I'm in the wrong for not being entertained by hideous faces and prefer to watch animated content that has a point to exist.
You know, I don't think you're in a position to be judging other people's art when you draw shit like this, and especially fucking this.
And Lucas literally said in his stream that he didn't want to do another debate to address points I forgot to write down in our initial debate.
Well, dude, can you really fucking blame me? You know, I find it absolutely hilarious this is the same motherfucker that was calling me disingenuous in the original video he made, when he conveniently leaves out important context as to why I might not want to do another debate. So following that live stream where he got the idea to challenge me to a debate, I reached out to him to set up a date and time. And then I announced that I would be doing a debate with him on my community post tab. And nothing really happened happened for a while. Well, that is until he randomly messaged me out of nowhere the very next day.
I'm starting to reconsider the debate, considering you posted this garbage pertaining my autism.
Yeah, remember that little shitpost I made earlier where I was essentially just mocking his avatar and calling him stupid? Yeah, well, it turns out this dude actually has autism and took it as a personal attack or something. I made that before I knew you actually had autism. It wasn't meant to be anything more than a shitpost.
Make fun of my avatar all you want, but bringing up my autism is something I take less kindly to than you do with Furry.
Again, it wasn't meant as a personal attack or something. Now, you'd think that'd be the end of it, but of course, like all things Roadbreach, you just had to be blown out of proportion. With this motherfucker making a community post tab where he tried to frame me as a quote-unquote malignant creature that hates gay people or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
I'm strongly considering the debate now, considering Lucas posting this on Discord pertaining to my autism. I don't think I have to have anything more to do with a malignant creature that makes fun of me for shit I can't change. You might as well make fun of someone for being gay like me. You gaslight me and just think I'm wrong when you try and dictate the definition of the word, when I was fucking correcting his God forbid be wrong about anything.
Now, in response to his retardation, I made a community post of my own. It appears the furry Carmen is trying to back out of the debate he wanted to have in the first place over a shitpost I made, and tries to frame it as a personal attack against him or something, despite me making that before knowing he actually has autism. I tried to settle it rationally on Discord, but instead he took to his community tab to cry wolf. Also, I have friends who are literally bi and etc. Like, bro, I'm literally friends with Brother Near in psychonautics therapy, and those guys are some of the fruitiest dudes around. But what do I know, right? According to Roadbreach, I'm a malignant creature. As far as me trying to dictate the definition of a word, like I said in the video, I was going off of the Google definition. And regardless of what definition you want to go with, whether it's me supposedly criticizing the DualSense unfairly, or trying to paint it as being of little worth, your take is brain dead when that's your main takeaway, just because I called it a vibrator as a joke, in reference to the haptic feedback features that are built in. You know, after dealing with this dude, I can understand why Mischief didn't want to do a debate back when I made my 2 videos on him. This dude is the pinnacle textbook definition of taking things out of proportion. Now, it actually turns out this fucking walking car with legs posted a community post prior to reaching out to me on Discord for clarification.
That was before I contacted you. I'm still interested in the debate.
YouTube doesn't have the exact time you posted it, and you contacted me within the same time range. You should have talked to me before jumping to conclusions. Following that whole shit show, the debate would go on to happen, and Jesus Christ, dude, this shit was beyond retarded. For the sake of this video not being any longer than it already is, long story short, the debate started with this dude trying to sneak in his little friend to act as a quote-unquote intermediary last minute, despite me never agreeing to one, and him never bringing it up previously. Alright, what the fuck is this? Because I made like a server. Hold on. He added some guy to the fucking server. No, it's only gonna be a 1v1. He wants an intermediary. No, it's a 1v1. Alright, so for the purposes of like the debate, I made a server where it would be just the 2 of us. And Roadbreach only now wants to have an intermediary. What the fuck? Ban. What's like the setting to like disable invites so he doesn't try to invite his little butthole friends in here. I'm just trying to disable invites before he tries to invite anyone else. Alright, well, I'm gonna start off by saying I didn't agree to like some intermediary or whatever. So, yeah, I had to ban your little friend there.
Okay.
After that slimy shit, he basically just flung shit against the wall and tried to get anything to stick. And I don't want to sit here blowing smoke up my own ass, but I'd say I refuted just about every point this dude had tried to make. Well, that is until this absolute genius ran out of arguments, despite having like a week in advance to prepare.
I only came up with 9 points. Like, I know that there's more that I could have come up with, but
yeah, I mean, you had a week to prepare, so. I mean, he even took down the stream on his channel out of embarrassment of how unprepared he was.
To all the people wondering about this stream, I straight up initiated because I didn't even want this shit in my rear view. Let's just leave out you in, Lucas. I immediately took down my stream out of embarrassment for how bad prepared I was. I thought I could hold on you a couple points for you to beat my head instead of writing them down, but obviously I couldn't.
So you know, with all of that shit in mind, whether it be the fact you blew things out of proportion prior to the debate you wanted to have in the first place, over some stupid little shitpost instead of reaching out to me first for clarification, you being slimy and trying to sneak in your friend to act as a mediator last minute, despite me never agreeing to one, and not even being fucking prepared to debate me after having a whole week in advance, can you really fucking blame me for not wanting to do another debate? Also, if you need a second debate to defend your points, that just proves how shitty your video was, and just goes to show your inability to formulate concise and well thought out arguments. In the end, you have no one but yourself to blame, and you conveniently leaving out this shit to try and make it seem like I'm the one trying to dodge criticism or some shit just says more about you. Jesus Christ, I'm not even a minute into this fucking video and I already got like 5 pages worth of script. Somebody please fucking shoot me. Where's Lee Harvey Oswald when you need him?
I might as well bring them up here.
Yeah, dude, let's revive retarded drama over completely unrelated shitposts and jokes I made on Discord. Because your skin is thinner than an anorexic high school girl with self-image problems. I mean, dude, you had yet another opportunity to end this shit following the debate with that fucking community post you made. But no, instead here we are.
For those who don't know what's going on, I made a video on xLukaz, a commentary YouTuber who's trying to get into music.
You know, that's like the second time you've mentioned that, and I really don't get what it has anything to do in regards to this drama. Like, if I end up releasing anything, I'll probably have to do it under a different name, so I don't gotta deal with shit like this.
And he made a video on me where I agreed with some of his points, but the video had several problems. Like when he said my video was pure retardation, like I said absolutely nothing of value whatsoever.
Oh no, I say your video was pure retardation, whatever will you do? You know, I find it funny how this dude will later on complain about how I supposedly miss him making hyperbolic statements, yet he does the same exact thing here and several times throughout this video. And despite me exaggerating when I said his video was pure retardation, I wasn't that far off if we're being honest.
And when I brought it up in Psycho's Discord, I kinda had a mental breakdown in his server. I tried to use my autism and history with CSEP to try and make everyone there see my side, which is a more diplomatic way of saying I tried to get sympathy points.
It'd be one thing if you did it once and then apologized, but you have on multiple occasions tried using your autism as a get out of jail free card to justify your brain dead points. Aside from Discord and playing the victim on your community tab, you brought up your autism at least twice on Nier's live streams.
And like I've said, I actually do have high functioning autism, and
yeah, but I don't know. That seems like an excuse more than anything, because, yeah, I also have autism. I have Asperger's, but that doesn't stop me from making really good videos, you know?
Yeah, I was just kind of just bringing that up just to put it out there, just for the record,
Yeah, dude, just for the record, get the fuck out of here, you disingenuous fuck.
I'm certainly at fault in this situation, considering this started with me picking his dog shit jokes apart in the comments of several of his videos, but I would think that after our debate and me trying to be friendly in Psychonautic Therapy's Discord server, that it would have fucking ended there.
I mean, dude, it could've, but all it took to damage your fragile ego was a few shitposts, and me calling you a retard is what drove you to make this video. And dig up shit that was already resolved. Also, I don't get why these 3 random screenshots have anything to do with me or the situation at hand, when I'm not even in them.
But of course not, because cocksucker Lucas wouldn't shut the fuck up about me.
Says the motherfucker who made 2 separate videos on me, including this 22-minute cope session, made several community posts antagonizing me, as well as leaving a couple dozen fucking comments across several of my videos, as well as from other people that cover the situation. But yeah, I'm the one who wouldn't shut up. Fucking projection at its finest.
And refused to be civil despite everything.
Yeah, dude, I'm the one who refused to be civil and not the guy who keeps blowing things out of fucking proportion. Let's not forget this dude almost called off the debate over a stupid little shitpost that he felt the need to make a community post tab about. Let's not forget he got defensive over definitions all because I dared to call the PlayStation DualSense controller a vibrator as a joke. And let's not forget he at one point considered somehow using a comment where I said LOL to slander me.
I tried to be friendly and non-combative. I mean, for fuck's sake, he called me a retard for saying I didn't like Meat Canyon.
Oh my fucking god, you poor baby. I called you a retard. You want your pacifier back? I swear to god, this dude comes off as if he spends too much time on the internet while simultaneously coming off as if he spent no time on the internet at all. I hate to break it to you, Roadbreach, but I am not the first person on the internet to call someone else a retard. Nor will I be the last. I really don't get why you keep harping on this, considering the fact you watch Filthy Frank's videos and had no issue with them. It's almost as if you're choosing to be selectively outraged at me because you have some sort of fucking vendetta against me.
I'm going over the parts where he missed the point point or made a shitty argument. If I leave things out, it's because he made a decent point. So Lucas, before you start trying to make it seem like I completely disagree with your video, like you did with mine.
Well, dude, I'm entitled to have my own opinion, and my opinion is that the video you made on me was fucking horseshit. Nothing you can say or do can really change my stance on the matter.
You did make a good point that I was hypocritical for saying that you're in an echo chamber and not thinking of many reasons why someone would dislike Rift Apart.
So you literally admit to being hypocritical, yet you're still gonna continue to be hypocritical several times throughout this video. Like getting mad at me for not being quote-unquote civil when you went on a fucking spurk session over me because I made a few shitposts on your expense. You know, Roadbreach, you should really stop making commentary videos. You are not built for this.
Despite the fact that I brought up frame drops that you completely ignored.
Or it could be that I fucking agree with you and I didn't feel the need to respond. Like literally not even a minute ago, you said that if you left things out, it's because I made a decent point. Why can't you meet me with the same energy instead of acting like I'm the boogeyman that's out to get you? Also hilarious, are you gonna get on my ass for not responding to one point when you don't even play half of the video I made?
I don't ask for much when it comes to a response video on me, but I do ask that it be better than this for reasons I'll get into shortly.
By all means, tell me what I supposedly did wrong in my video. Fucking enlighten me.
Let's get into this shit before I blow a gasket.
Yeah, fucking please. I'm like 7 pages deep into this shit already. I misinterpret what people say? This is coming from the same motherfucker that took a joke I made and tried to paint it as me slandering a video game company. Like the irony, man. You just love to see it.
When the actual fuck did I ever say that in the comments? I never once said that you were slandering Sony in the comments.
I was fucking exaggerating, you daft fuck. A lot of the comments you left were going on and on about how me calling the DualSense a vibrator as a joke somehow meant I was trying to say it had no value. Again, funny how this dude will later on complain about how I supposedly miss him making hyperbolic statements. Yet he does the same exact thing here and several other times throughout this video.
This is exactly what I'm talking about when I said you misinterpreted things in this video.
You are the last person who should be accusing others of misinterpreting things, you fucking hypocrite.
But that completely went over your head because your ego is more enlarged than your fucking brain tumor.
Yeah guys, I'm the one here with an ego, not the guy who keeps losing his shit over the smallest things imaginable, and pulled out complete 180 after saying he agreed with my video, because he saw an opportunity to keep the drama going.
Which seems to be the case when you think I'm ignoring Half-Life Alyx, despite the fact that I literally fucking mentioned Half-Life Alyx and acknowledged it, when I say that Harmon Smith was talking about Valve slacking on putting out content.
An inability to continue making new, interesting properties. When was the last time they released a new IP? Like fucking Portal? Like in 2007? Like I said before, Half-Life Alyx is a thing, and a simple Google search would confirm that. But I guess that's too much to ask.
Okay, right there, Harmon specified new IPs. Half-Life Alyx is a game that takes place in the Half-Life universe. I'm not entirely sure what new means in your head, but I wouldn't classify a new IP as a franchise that started in 1998.
You know, if you really want to argue over semantics, despite you essentially agreeing that the whole point he was trying to make is that Valve doesn't really make games anymore, then yes, I had a slip up in calling Half-Life Alyx a new IP. But again, you essentially agree with the sentiment, as you say yourself.
Is talking about Valve slacking on putting out content.
Which then, if you agree with that statement, then clearly Harmon is a dumbass for forgetting to mention that Half-Life Alyx exists. Motherfucker, I said Harmon, not you, is a dumbass for forgetting that Half-Life Alyx exists. And I literally agree with you that I had a slip up in calling Half-Life Alyx a new IP. However, it still doesn't take away from the overall point he was making that Valve supposedly not putting out content is retarded. Why is this something you're trying to argue when there's literally nothing left to argue within that point?
I'm sorry, but one game, one demo, and tons of money and resources isn't going to make me forget about Valve's non-existent quality control.
Wait, what the fuck? What does Steam moderation have anything to do with Harmon's point of Valve supposedly not putting out content? You are literally moving the goalposts and arguing a point I never even made.
The sea of sewage that was Valve's library, the fact that games with fucking malware were somehow allowed onto the storefront, and that massive gap in Valve's release schedule. I'm sick of people holding up Gabe Newell as a guy that can do no wrong when he can barely manage a storefront to where someone has to break the law for Valve to fucking step in. Pickled Rick, anyone? Pickled Rick, anyone?
I really don't get what this whole Spurk session about Gabe Newell has anything to do with the point Harmon was making. Again, you're literally moving the goalpost. As far as the lack of quality control, motherfucker, you made 2 videos playing shit that looks like moldy cheese string dingleberries dipped in radioactive sewage straight out of fucking Chernobyl. That was available for purchase on the PS5. The same system you cannot stop dick riding. Yet another instance of this dude being an absolute hypocrite and choosing to be selectively outraged when it fits his narrative. Like this whole argument can literally be applied to every fucking platform. No shit. shit, some cancer is gonna get through quality control, it's inevitable. Oh, and that screenshot you used to somehow prove that Steam allows games with malware only lists one instance of one game being removed after it was found to be mining bitcoins, and that it's probably not possible for a game on Steam to have viruses. Once again, leave it to Roadbreach to blow things out of proportion.
I'm putting cocks in my mouth, since I love doing it, because I'm the Sony cocksucker. There are videos that I keep going back to about Steam Direct and Digital Homicide to this day. But no, I guess I should shut up because they make one game in 2020 and one demo 2 years later.
No, you should shut up because you're literally moving the goalposts and arguing a point I never even fucking made as some sort of gotcha moment.
To be clear, I have tried Aperture Desk Job and it is really good, and Half-Life Alyx does look like a pretty good game that I'm going to need to upgrade my PC for. I just want to make it clear before you double down on me being a console fanboy like I know you fucking will.
You know, considering how offended you got a one vibrator joke, the massive dick riding for Sony games, as well as you being selectively outraged towards quality control and a bunch of other fucking points I could make, you're not exactly doing yourself any favors here. And you playing devil's advocate by saying Half-Life Alyx looks good doesn't magically make the numerous brain-dead statements you've made disappear.
Now, onto this absolute gem, where I bring up that abhorrently priced listing of Transformers Devastation on G2A, and compare it to a PS4 copy on eBay, where he says this.
Really, dude, is this seriously your best counter-argument? You're gonna take some obscure outlier -2 people have heard about and use it to justify your retardation? I mean, I can literally take that same logic right back at you and apply it at physical games. Like, this doesn't just apply to consoles or PCs. We even somewhat debated on it in the comments. I mean, dude, by all means, tell me what's wrong with that clip and how I'm wrong for saying that a game being overpriced doesn't just apply to PC when there are niche games on console, especially that sell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars. You know, at least on PC you have the ability to emulate games for free, which is a point I remember making either in my original video or in the debate. So why the fuck are you even arguing this right now? Okay, well, I was obviously exaggerating with that, but obviously, the point I was trying to make is just because a game gets delisted, that doesn't apply to like every single fucking game. Like, you were acting like this is a widespread issue. Yeah, on PC you can just like emulate it or something, if worst comes to worst. Yeah, that's the whole kind of point I was trying to make, that on PC you have options, while on PC on fucking console you're just fucked. Yeah, let's conveniently not mention that because it will render this whole video fucking pointless.
It seems more like PC players will complain about the fact that the game isn't more 4K 300 FPS. I also had no choice but to get Transformers Devastation physically on PS4 to play on PS5 because I use more PC for editing, and because Steam keys for Transformers Devastation cost hundreds of dollars on G2A. At least I can still buy fucking physical games, even if they get delisted.
Point to one example of someone unironically expecting a game to run at 4K 300 FPS. Alright, let's analyze this shit. So first off, you got some stupid meme lightly poking fun at PC gamers, and then you got this big-brained individual in the replies that said, nothing wrong with that because no amount of FPS is enough. Sad behavior, honestly. Go play any competitive shooter on PC with 60 FPS, you'll literally have zero chance. Let me get this straight. So because some random motherfucker on Twitter essentially said that 60 frames per second is not a good minimum for competitive shooters, is the best you got for PC gamers supposedly complaining when a game is in 4K 300 FPS. Are you fucking kidding me? Also, what the fuck does this have anything to do with Transformers Devastation?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, right there, a shitty fucking argument.
I love to blow and swallow some cocks. Yeah, right there. Before I Also, I love how you portray Transformers Devastation as an obscure outlier when most of the Transformers community holds that game in high regard and would kill to get a sequel to that game after the cliffhanger teased a sequel.
Like I said in the debate, the point I was trying to make is that one game being overpriced doesn't just apply to PC, and it isn't a widespread issue like you're trying to make it seem as. Like, sure, I worded it poorly in the video, but I literally clarified it in the debate, so why the fuck are you still trying to argue this point?
But that's not gonna happen because Activision are greedy cocksuckers who'd rather kill a franchise than admit that they fucked up. And that's before you get into the sexual harassment allegations.
You know, Activision pulling a Bill Cosby, that's wonderful and everything, but what the fuck does this have anything to do with the video?
No, but I guess this game is obscure because you said so. Never mind the fact that it's not, because it's a game you didn't know about because you don't seem to be a Transformers fan. That would be like me calling Dragon Ball Kakarot obscure because I'm not a Dragon Ball fan. Just because your lying ass hasn't heard of a game doesn't mean jack shit.
Jesus Christ, again, yes, I could have worded the argument I was trying to make better, but how the fuck am I lying?
In my video on xLukaz, I used hyperbole when I was criticizing his overuse of the dogshit wall of virginity joke.
Okay, and I embrace the fact that it's dogshit and didn't even try to argue that point and even agree with you during the debate that I'm not some fucking comedy genius. So why do you bring it up here? I think you also got mad at me for the fucking wall of virginity joke.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm not even gonna, like, debate that. Like, yes, I overuse some jokes. Some of them are not even, like, funny. Fucking guilty as charged. Sue me.
And he accuses me of putting words in his mouth.
Yeah, how dare people buy games physically and have actual ownership over something they bought? It needs to be able to be taken away from you at a moment's notice.
Okay, now you're just putting words in my mouth. Where the fuck did I say any of that? But hey guys, I'm clearly the disingenuous liar here, because I made a few shit jokes.
Somehow it didn't occur to him that I could be doing the same thing you do by using jokes and hyperbole.
Yeah, I find that extremely hard to believe, seeing how you always just come off as really angry and serious all the time and blow the smallest things out of proportion.
You know, the same thing you do. This is also coming from the same guy that made up that I painted him as slandering Sony over a vibrator joke, when I never did such a thing. You're the one putting words in someone's mouth.
I swear to God, it wasn't this motherfucker just bitching about how I supposedly miss him making a hyperbolic statement. And right after saying that, he gets mad about me being hyperbolic. The fucking irony and hypocrisy knows no end. Also, I don't want to sit here and be lectured about supposedly missing hyperbolic statements by someone who keeps missing jokes I made and taking them way too fucking literally.
Now, onto the part that really makes me wonder what the fuck his point was, and if he took more time to think about the solidity of the argument or its relevance before moving on to his next point.
Yeah, I don't think you of all people should be criticizing me for quote-unquote relevance before moving on to the next point, when not only have you conveniently left out context as to why I don't want to do another debate, as well as saying that PC gamers supposedly want 4K 300 FPS while talking about Transformers devastation.
Harming later brings up the lack of detachable controllers, akin to the Nintendo Joy-Cons, and the supposed lack of motion controls, which the Valve Steam Deck actually does have, and Lucas generalizes that nobody wants motion controls.
I don't think there's a single person in 2021 that unironically wants motion controls. Like, I really thought that fucking gimmick died with the Wii more than 10 years ago.
I guess you've never played ARMS, Wii Sports, Excitebots, Mario Galaxy, Astro's Playroom, or any other highly acclaimed game that uses motion controls.
You know, man, I don't know if I'd personally use the words highly acclaimed when describing Astro's Playroom. A glorified fucking tech demo that involves you blowing into the controller like a maniac.
Genuinely, what the fuck does this have to do with the game's quality?
Jesus Christ, dude, I mainly put in the video because it was a funny clip. It really doesn't go much deeper than that. But if you really want to break down that clip plays into how the game is an overglorified fucking tech demo. Now on paper is the game bad? No, but it sure as shit is overhyped. All the marketing for this game was about the haptic feedback crap built into the controller that they made sure to highlight as a reason to play it, including the microphone gimmick. And that clip in particular was from a video where some Japanese YouTuber guy was given early access to the demo and controller by Sony to promote it. That's the whole point I was making. That the game is an overglorified tech demo, similar to how the SSD in the PS5 was overhyped as well. I mean, dude, are we really gonna forget about all the time Sony acted like the PS5 SSD was gonna cure fucking cancer leading up to the console's launch?
I'm sure I could find a clip of IShowSpeed going wild over beating Elden Ring, but it says absolutely fuck all about the game's quality.
Yeah, no shit, because it has fuck all to do with the game's marketing. I swear, it's like everything he accused me of in his original video as well as this one, he's guilty of himself. I remember this dude trying to blast me for missing the point when that's what he's doing here.
Plus, this game has really good reviews, so it technically is highly acclaimed.
You lose all credibility the moment you try using fucking game journalists to prove your point. I mean, dude, I could pull up dozens of examples of shitty reviews done by sites like IGN and their absolutely horrendous takes that pretty much everyone is in agreement are terrible. Like that one time they did a video saying that every Saints Row sequel should be a reboot, which I've previously made a video on. Not to mention that the game's media has proven to be extremely biased towards Sony, and they're not about to give any large company a bad review review in fear of not getting future review codes.
You just refuse to get off your high horse and come up with retarded reasons to call it a shitty tech demo.
That's right, man. My high horse is so big you might as well call me Vosh at this point. Fucking exposed.
Just a horse size. I just want to have a horse stick, man. Having a horse stick would be rad. A 16-inch horse stick with a horse stick.
Nah, but I might as well put it in that part of the community post where you brought this up as well here.
As for out of touch takes, you found one clip of someone looking like a crazy person playing Astro's Playroom and said nothing about the game to prove why he thinks it's bad. You really went after the one thing for that.
Again, for like the 100th time, it plays into the game's marketing, making the game seem like the second coming of Christ.
I will concede that you weren't impressed by the game, but this clip of some guy overreacting over the microphone gimmick proves fucking nothing.
No, it proves how the game is an overglorified tech demo with the marketing harping on gimmicky features like blowing into a fucking controller.
Next on the chopping block, he goes over the choice things I have to say about gaming keyboards, which boiled down to me hating the form factor and calling it ugly as a jab at the form factor and the dumbass RGB lights that I couldn't give a fuck about, and am tempted to rip out of my PC because they do fuck all but raise the price of this damn thing.
Whoa, hold it right there. Oh my god, Roadbreach, are you denigrating? Are you disparaging keyboards? Are you portraying them as having no value? Oh my fucking god.
You fucking heretic, I'm gonna gouge your fucking eyes out.
Yeah, I hope that little clip just highlighted this dude's hypocrisy of acting like me calling the DualSense controller a vibrator somehow meant I was saying it had no value. Yet here he is shitting on keyboards in vivid detail using every fucking negative adjective he can think of.
Except for the fact that I would kill to have gyro aiming in literally every first-person and third-person shooter over mouse aiming any day over having to contend with an ugly, uncomfortable button slap. Seriously, fuck this thing.
I find it extremely funny how this dude gets mad and accuses me of generalizing things, and later calls me a contrarian, when just because he prefers gyro aiming, he acts like keyboards are inferior to controllers or some shit. Like, remember that one comment from earlier?
It's still much more comfortable to use than a slab of buttons.
Controllers are more comfortable, take less time to get accustomed to, and with things like the Steam Deck that have controller-type inputs built in, are better for playing in bed.
Motherfucker, everything you just said is subjective, yet you have the nerve to criticize me for quote-unquote generalizing things and speaking authoritatively. Oh, controllers are more comfortable, they take less time to get accustomed to. I can literally say the same thing about keyboards, yet it wouldn't amount to much since it's a subjective statement. Get the fuck out of here, you console fanboy manchild.
After all, isn't playing a video game supposed to be fun? So why not be comfortable while you have fun?
I can be comfortable with keyboards at my desk, and if you want to lie down in your bed, get a wireless keyboard or some shit, like what the fuck?
Also, considering there are gaming keyboard alternatives, I'd only use this piece of shit if I can't use anything else, or don't want to spend my time doing a bunch of setup outside of the game to use a controller.
Dude, what fucking setup? You plug the fucking thing into the computer via USB. Wow, dude, that truly was on par with one of the 12 labors of Hercules. I swear to god, it's your bias towards consoles and you making retarded statements like this that make you seem like a console fanboy.
I wasn't hating on the gaming keyboard to be contrarian. I was hating on it because
you're a fucking retard that doesn't know what he's talking about. Got it, thanks for clearing that up.
Because I fucking hate it, and it was never designed for gaming in the first place. You could show me all the plastic button slabs you want, it's never going to convince me the computer keyboard was designed for gaming in the first place.
Yeah, no fucking shit, it's the other way around. Games both on console and PC were specifically designed with the hardware in mind that they had available to work with. Is this seriously supposed to be some gotcha moment? This is fucking common sense.
This is a point I've made in our debate, but I'm going to bring it up here for the sake of the rule I made in the beginning, and for the people here.
Yeah, you're only now gonna use a clip that you conveniently found a way to spin in a way that somehow fits your bullshit narrative. Let's just forget about all the other clips that would have dismantled your retardation.
And if Rift Apart is a platformer, then what the fuck have I been doing for these last 8 minutes?
I don't know, man. It seems to me like you've spent the last 8 minutes making yourself look like an absolute moron. But as far as the gameplay, you've been fighting the same robot enemies, which could very well be a reason why people didn't like this game. Like, as far as I know, the enemy variety in this game is awful. Like, they literally recycle the same bosses throughout the game. Maybe, if you, as you put it, stepped out of your echo chamber, you could see why people maybe don't like this game.
Like I said in our debate, this is the challenge mode.
Yeah, and like I said in the same fucking debate you just mentioned, the point I was trying to make is that the bosses are lazily reused several times throughout the game. I literally clarified this in the debate, so why are you still harping on this?
There are far more enemies than just those couple of robots that I was fighting in that clip.
Okay, yeah, I was nitpicking the gameplay a little bit, but the overall point I was making was in regards to, like, the bosses variety. Like, I haven't obviously had any experience with Rift Apart in a long time. I played that shit, like, over a year ago now. Yeah, but the point I was making is that the enemy variety in terms of, like, bosses is kind of bad. They, like, reuse the exact same, like, robot enemy several times. I mean, motherfucker, you even essentially agree with me on one of Nier's streams prior to the debate.
Well, yeah, I've noticed that they actually do reuse the Juggernaut quite a few times in the story mode.
Shit like this where you conveniently leave out context surrounding the debate to help argue points that were already clarified to dick ride this game even further, and spin some bullshit narrative makes you look like a console fanboy desperate to be right. But if you guys thought this shit was bad, you should see his reaction in one of his community posts.
And when he said that, I was not fighting the same robot over and over. I was playing the challenge mode of Rift Apart, where you fight waves of enemies for a reward. And he was playing Doom 2016, where you fight copy and pasted enemies for most of the game. Almost as if you have no experience playing that game.
Admittedly, I only played Rift Apart for a few hours, but if you watch the video, the overall point I was making is that the boss variety in the game is pretty bad, and I was basically just giving some reasons why someone wouldn't like the game. Because my god, for someone accusing others of being in echo chambers, you sure do love to ride this game's dick a lot.
Now sure, the game does reuse some bosses, but the core enemies are more varied than what little you've played.
Again, I already said I worded it poorly in the debate. What more do you want me to fucking say? Holy fuck, dude, at this point I don't know whether you left things out intentionally or if you're just that retarded and forgot about it.
You calling it a shitty platformer when you know little to nothing about it kinda makes me think you didn't touch it whatsoever.
Motherfucker, it's still one of the game's primary genres. Yes, you can shoot in it, but platforming is integral to the core gameplay of the game.
But even though you did play it, you playing it for an hour or just a single level doesn't really make me think people listening to you about a game you've barely played is a really good idea.
What did I say that was so damaging? I just said it's a shitty platformer because it's not a game I don't want to play again. Oh no, what a tragedy. I mean, dude, you went on a full-on fucking rant earlier, bitching about keyboards where you sounded like a minute away from endangering someone. Somehow that's fine, but the second I dare to call a few games shitty, you know, that's where we draw the fucking line. Like, you know, if I sat here and made a video or some shit making objectively incorrect statements about Rift Apart, then maybe you would have a point. But the fact of the matter is, all I said was that the game lazily reuses bosses throughout the game to give a reason as to why someone might not like this game. Like, dude, you even admitted you were being hypocritical by accusing others of being inside echo chambers, while not thinking of any reasons why someone might dislike Rift Apart aside from frame drops. That was the whole fucking point.
I've barely played Elden Ring, but you're not going to catch me calling it a shitty hack and slash for not even getting out of Limgrave.
I don't think shitting on a game due to a lack of skill is the same as not liking a game because it reuses several bosses throughout the game, and is a platformer aimed at furries and kids among other things.
And the fact that you didn't talk about the gunplay doesn't help either.
Maybe because I didn't really have a problem with it. Like, what is it with this guy not holding me to his own standard? When he leaves shit out, it's fine, but when I do it, I'm a fucking war criminal.
And the way one of your friends reads me talking about what I liked especially doesn't work because I actually explained what I liked about it. Actually...
This dude did not just pull out, actually. But anyway, if you want to come after me, that's one thing, but when you come after my boys, now we're gonna have a fucking problem. Everyone who did voiceovers of your unhinged comments did a phenomenal job at truly portraying your brain rot in all its splendor. So fucking cope harder, bitch.
As for me getting pissed at denigrating... Oh, sorry. Apparently I'm not using the right word. As for me getting pissed at you disparaging the DualSense, the comment about vibrators not being free is a stupid fucking point, and I have no goddamn clue why you decided to fucking make it in the first place.
Well, dude, you somehow took one vibrator joke and took it as me saying that DualSense controller had no value whatsoever. I don't want to get into a fucking fight over definitions, so I thought it'd be fitting I'd match the level of intelligence I was being met with by using an equally retarded example. I mean, dude, you took the joke way too fucking literally, so I thought I'd do the same by pointing out that vibrators aren't free, and then going by that logic, your point of me supposedly saying it had no value at all because I called the DualSense a vibrator made no fucking sense. It's like the saying goes, you ask a stupid question, you get a stupid answer.
Calling the Hyperscan a doorstop is me insulting the Hyperscan. I could tell you you real doorstops cost money, but it's a nothing point. You call it mental gymnastics for me to infer you said it has no value, when typically belittling something as something else is an insult in any other context.
An insult doesn't translate to me saying the DualSense had no value though. I was simply mocking the haptic feedback shit that's built in. What's so hard to understand about that?
I shouldn't need to explain any of this, but considering you gaslight me into thinking that I'm using the wrong word or that I'm using mental gymnastics to come to a point most rational people would.
Oh yeah, dude, most people would take me calling the DualSense a vibrator as me saying it had no value whatsoever. Clearly, that's the only logical conclusion here. Again, funny how he was accusing me of generalizing things and speaking authoritatively, yet here he is speaking on behalf of all fucking humankind. And as far as me supposedly gaslighting you, the only one doing that here is you when you twist that joke I made into something I never even said.
I guess I must, because you can't see any faults in any point you make.
Motherfucker, I have on several occasions admitted to wording things poorly. Several times in the debate especially, which you only like to bring up when it fits your narrative. But yeah, go off, dude.
No, but I'm the stupid bitch. No, but I'm the stupid bitch.
You know, man, I am inclined to agree.
I'm the stupid bitch, apparently, for using logical deduction. And before you try to make a joke about me not being rational, I'm clearly not talking about myself here, because I got into a fight with you, of all people.
That's right, man, I'm the fucking villain here. I'm the big bad that's going after the holy prophet Roadbreach here, despite him being the one going on a fucking spurk session every time I make a joke or use hyperbole. Something he tries to accuse me of missing while doing the exact same thing he accuses me of. Fucking hypocrisy at its finest.
The same guy that tried to gaslight me into thinking I'm insane for making an assumption anyone else would have made.
Yeah, dude, everyone that watched my video was definitely gonna take a vibrator joke at face value and take it as me saying the DualSense has no value. My god, you continuing to harp on this shit just reinforces the fact that you're a console fanboy in denial. As far as the supposed gaslighting, dude, you're projecting at this point. Take a look in the fucking mirror.
He later brings up the comment I made about 144 FPS and 1440p or 4K or something worth flexing about when most gamers couldn't give a flying fuck about 4K resolution, and tell him it's not worth blowing thousands on.
Brace yourselves, guys. This is where any and all remaining brain cells left at this point fucking die.
It's also the fact that slight improvements are made out to be anything worth me blowing my money on.
Whoopity fucky do, 144 FPS and 1440.
That's worth blowing thousands on it, ain't it?
By all means, point to where I said that you need to spend thousands of dollars to get a good gaming experience on PC.
Maybe it's because the fact that literally the second result on Bing cost thousands of dollars.
Roadbreach, you fucking walking car with legs. Lay off the furry porn, get your dick out of the car exhaust, and fucking listen. I specifically said, point to where I say you need to spend thousands of dollars to get a good gaming experience on PC. Emphasis on the I, cause last I checked, I'm not fucking Bing, you fucking smooth brain. Also gotta love how in that screenshot you conveniently circled the most expensive fucking computer when there are literally two cheaper computers right next to it, and you can easily find cheaper ones on sites like Newegg and Amazon. Add on to the fact that most pre-built computers are notoriously overpriced, and you can get a significantly cheaper system by building it yourself, which really isn't as difficult as some people will lead you to believe. Just watch build tutorials on fucking YouTube. It's what I did for a couple weeks before I built my computer, which consists of a Ryzen 5 processor and an RTX 3060, which runs pretty much every game I want at 140p high settings, which cost me under $1,000. You showing some cherry-picked example you found on fucking Bing proves nothing. This is yet another thing I address in the debate that he conveniently leaves out, almost as if because deep down he knows how fucking stupid it is.
Not everybody's going to buy a couple $1,000 custom rig.
Yeah, that's another point. I don't get where I said that you need to spend thousands of dollars on a PC. Like my PC definitely wasn't thousands of dollars, let me tell you that.
I guess what I was, in hindsight, I guess the thing that I was doing was exaggerating for the sake of showing why the argument doesn't work. But,
what argument doesn't work?
Well, I guess, exaggerating for the sake of, showing why...
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Alright, I think your mic cut out. You were saying something?
I guess I was exaggerating, kind of like how you do when you make, when you made your response videos.
Alright, I guess.
And for what? Improvements that I couldn't give the slightest infinitesimal fuck about? 4K, 144 FPS? The pretty lights. The pretty lights.
RGB has nothing to do with the game performance. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, if you don't want it in your system, you can literally not include it or turn it off. And again, I never said you need it to play at 4K. You're essentially strawmanning me using a fucking Bing search result. Also, just because you personally don't care for it doesn't mean others don't. Once again, you're acting authoritatively when that is the same thing you tried going after me for.
Yeah, tell that to my PS5 that may not have all that shit, but runs Doom Eternal at a buttery smooth frame rate with crystal clear visuals.
Dear Roadbreach's PS5, I hope this message finds you well. I solemnly apologize that your owner lacks the mental capacity to grasp the concept of two different platforms being able to coexist, and not being able to understand why someone would pick the alternative platform that differs from his favorite plastic box. Additionally, my condolences in regards to having to witness whatever the fuck he does off screen. Sincerely, Lucas, the retarded 17-year-old that caused a grown man to upload a 22-minute cope session.
If I wasn't a YouTuber, this thing wouldn't be a passing thought in my mind.
You know, honestly, if you having to smash your PC like you said you wanted to do is all it takes for you to quit YouTube, then that's a worthy sacrifice in my book.
Hey Castle, can I get another round of Lucas missing the point?
Sure thing, sure thing.
I swear to God, if you don't get this fucking floating Lego brick off my screen, I'll throw in the fucking Easy Bake Oven.
This is when I criticized Lucas for making fun of That Guy Who Games for talking about why the Steam Deck was something that seemed to have come out of left field.
His point was that it was surprising for Valve to actually make something like this, especially since they haven't made games for a long time, despite Valve being a massive company and not doing shit to moderate Steam.
Again, if you watch my videos in a way that didn't involve you cherry-picking statements, you'd pick up on the fact that I tend to exaggerate things for comedic effect and mock people for stating the obvious. Like, this dude's gonna get on his high horse and call me a disingenuous liar, while playing random clips he somehow found a way to bitch and moan about. You know, at least I have the courtesy of playing a video in full.
You conveniently leave out the point I was making.
Yeah, no, I know for a fact I didn't cut out anything from your video, aside from like the last 10 seconds of your outro, where it was just some shitty b-roll and kindergarten music. If I didn't respond, it's either because I agree with you, or it wasn't worth noting. Again, funny how this dude's not even gonna play half of my video, but he's gonna get mad I didn't respond to a single point.
For a company that didn't make new games for 8 years, it's surprising to see them make a whole-ass game system.
I mean, not really when you think about it, considering Valve has a history of pushing the envelope. I mean, they've done hardware stuff prior to the Steam Deck, like the Steam controller and the Index VR headset. Say what you want about stuff like the Steam controller, but you can't say that they're not trying.
You completely ignored the part where I bring up the fact that Steam barely, if ever, moderates their fucking platform, despite the fact stacks they make through Steam.
I really don't fucking feel like rewatching my 50-minute video just to review one point, but I'm willing to bet you probably use some shitty example to try and justify your mental gymnastics. Also extremely hypocritical of you to put Valve on blast for supposedly not moderating their platform, when Sony literally has the same issue. I mean, again, you literally made 2 fucking videos on it.
And not making new games for 8 years.
Well, yeah, because they spend that time updating their multiplayer titles in Steam, as well as working on hardware like the Steam controllers and their VR headsets. Sure, they didn't really make any new games for a while, but to make it seem like they just sat around and twiddled their thumbs doing nothing comes off extremely disingenuous.
Let me put it this way. When someone doesn't do what you've known them to do for years, and suddenly does something that someone else does, but far better, I don't think that's something you can go without pointing out. Nobody else made a portable gaming system.
Yeah, let's just forget about the numerous portable handheld systems like the Aya Neo and the GPD Win, not to mention the numerous cloud gaming services out there. Again, Roadbreach, you just come off as if you don't know what you're talking about.
But here comes Valve with their new system when other companies that have been making new games for years that have similar resources haven't done so.
They literally have, and even companies with way less clout than Valve like Aya Neo have done so. But yeah, let's forget about all of that.
Get the fucking point.
You should really consider taking your own advice.
I also wish to further drive home the fact that you feel the need to win no matter what and can't be wrong about anything whatsoever.
Yeah, the dude who made 2 videos on me, several community posts, and dozens of comments antagonizing me, left out important clips and context, as well as attempting to use a comment where I said LOL against me, as well as reviving the shit over some Discord shit post, is really gonna lecture me about feeling the need to win, despite me literally admitting I worded things poorly enough few instances.
Did you completely flunk English, or is this an indirect admission that I was correct? Or did I just not use the correct word for your stupid ass?
Nah, like I say, your brain damage had rubbed off on me to the point where I just figured talking to you was a lost cause. Like talking to a brick wall. Again, let's not forget this all started with you getting butthurt over a joke.
Jesus fucking Christ, swallow some fucking pride once in a while.
You know, guys, I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say, I think he's mad.
Look at this fucking definition. It literally has disparage as part of its dogshit definition. Yet you tell me that I'm using a completely different word out of nowhere in the comments.
You used the word denigrate at one point, which going off the Google definition means to criticize unfairly, and disparage means to portray something in regard or represent as being of little worth. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like getting into a grammar battle that came as a result of you getting way too fucking angry over a vibrator joke.
It literally has the word disparage in this abortion of a definition.
Yeah, so even you admit this whole shit is fucking stupid. God, the script of this shit is nearing 20 pages. Somebody please put me out of my misery.
When people use the word denigrate, they typically mean they're belittling something. They are presenting that thing as being of little worth.
How do you fucking know? Here he is once again speaking authoritatively on the behalf of all humankind. Yet he wants to call me out for generalizing things.
Google is not the be-all, end-all of definitions.
Yeah, neither is whatever fucking site you got your definition from. I mean, Jesus Christ, he accuses me of being desperate to be correct, yet here he is acting like the fucking grammar police and acting authoritatively. This shit is beyond hypocritical and sad.
Especially when it comes with a definition that isn't relevant to what it means 90% of the time people use the damn word. How goddamn long do I have to drone on?
You know, that is the real question here. How much mental retardation does it take for someone to get this upset over a fucking word?
Drone on about the fact that you weren't correct and refuse to admit it.
What is there to admit? That you're a fucking unhinged retard? Fucking case closed. Bye-bye.
Because here's the definition for your retarded ass. Denigrate, to deny the importance of or validity of. Belittle. So, it seems as though I was correct, and you were too prideful to admit it.
Doesn't matter what definition you want to go with, whether it's supposedly me criticizing it unfairly, or to deny the importance of, or validity of, belittle, whatever the fuck. When that was your main takeaway after I called a fucking controller a vibrator as a joke, you really need to reevaluate your life.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
This dude sounds like he's 5 seconds away from shooting up a Walmart.
Stop trying to poison the well about the context behind the argument.
Says the motherfucker that conveniently left out context several times throughout this video. The hypocrisy just does not stop.
You are fucking wrong and you refuse to admit it. You are deliberately trying to gaslight me because you can't admit that I was correct about anything.
For the 1,000th time I've admitted to wording things poorly, and you really should stop projecting and read the fucking room. Literally all of the comments on both of your videos are either fucking roasting you or calling you out on how you're wrong. I mean, dude, you even disabled the likes on your video. If that doesn't say how insecure you are about the whole situation, I don't know what will. That Bing search you showed regarding how expensive PCs are is cherry picking. Buying individual parts for buying one yourself is way cheaper than that.
Yeah, sure it is.
I mean, hey, it's not like in your own screenshot you show 2 other pre-built PCs that are miles cheaper. You should probably delete this. Nothing of any significance was said. There was no real point to making it.
Stand by what I said!
To be fair, Astro's Playground is technically a tech demo to showcase the power of the PlayStation 5.
I never said it wasn't, but Lucas calls it a shitty tech demo and gives no adequate reasons for why it sucks. I'm not saying you can't like a game, but give me a good reason why you don't like it.
You can just build it yourself for a cheaper price.
Building a glowing slab isn't cheap, you know. Don't try to make it seem like it's not.
Bro, you don't have to have lights on your built PC. You must be dumb.
Most of these ugly metal slabs have them. These goddamn PC companies think gamers on the same level as NFEDs who get excited about jingling keys in their faces with these hideous lights. But the useless glass window that only adds to the price.
Like I said, you don't need glass windows for a PC. Also, it took you 3 days to come up with this.
I'd delete the video while you can before it blows up in your face.
Actually, I'm not going to. I stand by everything I said. Buying games physically is a good way to collect games without having to spend too much money on Steam keys to delisted games. Like, literally any of the Transformer games available on PC.
Emulate it or download a fucking torrent. When it gets around to his "I'm being bullied on Discord, wah" video, you already know me and Psycho will have cameos. Can't fucking wait to see what Downs Prime comes up for that.
That's not going to happen. I actually respect psychotic therapy and Nier. Even if I did remember you from Discord, you wouldn't be worth my time. I also love the nickname Downs Prime. I'll concede that this was my fault, but I'm not going to let Lucas think he can just say I'm right about everything. Nothing you said was right, because he fucking isn't, especially since he ignored half my points.
Yeah, I can't be fucking bothered to respond to that next. The mental deficiency from both sides is astounding. One is an unbearable Spurg with a horrible accent. The other is an obvious manchild who wants a Cars knockoff to be his online representation.
I was inspired by Cars. Thank you for noticing. No one else, for now, has an OC like mine. I also don't remember the Cars having upright proportions and limbs like my OC.
Guns cause all of this trouble. Cars.
Pussy!
Cars.
Pussy!
Cars.
Pussy!
Even when I present the definition that nearly everyone uses when they say the word, you still try to back out of admitting the fact that you weren't correct. I doubt I could get this through your thick fucking skull if I had an entire armory's worth of Sabo rounds.
You know, if you really want to fight over definitions despite ignoring the way we got to that point, knock yourself out. By all means, tell me how I'm the one who's desperate to be right. I can't be fucking bothered to repeat myself for the 1,000th time. This video is long enough as it is.
I also find it funny that you try to paint me as the one that you can't win with when I criticize your joke about Mischief damage controlling after your abysmal response to his Guardians of the Galaxy review.
Great, now we're digging up on the related drama from over a fucking year ago over a topic I could give two shits about anymore. But by all means, tell me how my response to his Guardians of the Galaxy review was abysmal. Oh wait, let me guess, it's because I called him a free at one point over that retarded fills me with joy joke.
It's funny you bring up damage controlling when I brought up PC elitism in your comments, and you tried to damage control for problems I have with the glowing metal slab that is the PC.
You know, if the PC is a metal glowing slab, then I don't know what the fuck to call the PS5. When it looks like some ridiculous fan-made render you'd find in the late 2000s.
But that aside, I don't get how me replying to your retardation is me quote-unquote damage controlling. Like what, was I supposed to just not respond? But oh wait, if I didn't reply, you'd accuse me of being inside of an echo chamber. Like, this is what I mean, you can't win with these fucks.
It could be the fact that retarded cum stains actually think no amount of FPS is enough.
Oh my god, dude, all that random Twitter user said was that 60 frames per second was a bad minimum for competitive shooters. How does that equate to all PC gamers supposedly wanting infinite amounts of FPS?
And 60 FPS is too slow.
Yeah, I don't get what this screenshot is supposed to prove either. All the dude said was that more FPS objectively makes the experience better in first-person shooters.
But I guess those people don't matter one bit because morons with retarded takes on PC gaming don't exist whatsoever. Nah, PC fanboys don't exist, I guess.
I never said that they don't. You're literally putting words in my mouth. The problem here is that you make ridiculous claims with shitty screenshots as evidence to back it up.
And we need computers that run at 8 million FPS at 24K. And just in case you think that's what I'm saying you said, I'm exaggerating for the sake of a joke, like what you do.
Hate to break it to you, but you got the charisma of a school shooter with Down syndrome. And your jokes land about as well as Flight 11 and 175 did in the Twin Towers.
I shouldn't need to fucking explain that.
Yeah, just how I shouldn't have to explain how you're a fucking hypocrite for criticizing me for supposedly missing hyperbolic statements, while you get your panties in a wad every time I exaggerate.
Now, on to my next point, where he paints people who draw furry porn as shut-in losers.
Alright, I'm fucking done. I swear to god, why do these arguments always devolve into a fucking defense of furry porn?
I also love how he completely missed the point of Ink Tiger art having more followers. Had to do with his points being invalid. My point was that drawing can be very lucrative. It's ironic when he tries to paint artists as shut-in losers when you can make money off of it.
You know, guys, I'm gonna go full-on tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist here for a moment and say that I think the reason as to why this dude keeps defending furry porn to the grave is that he's in denial. I mean, it's one thing that this dude has a DeviantArt where he draws some truly deplorable shit, and me making a few furry jokes send him into a frenzy. I think even he deep down realizes the shit is peak degeneracy, but he's not quite comfortable with that yet. So instead he keeps deflecting so he doesn't have to face reality just yet.
But hey, that's just a theory. A gay theory.
I love cocks. and I bring up Ink Tiger art on Instagram. He makes money off drawing anthropomorphic women in erotic situations and sells prints of said art.
You know, somehow I'm not surprised you got that shit bookmarked and everything. But Roadbreach, please do me a favor and never show that shit ever again in a fucking video.
For those who don't know.
Not gonna lie, I wish I didn't know. As they say, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, people who draw furry porn must be shut-in losers who live with their parents, despite the fact that Ink Tiger has more followers on Instagram than you have subscribers on YouTube.
Dude, are you fucking serious? So just because some random furry motherfucker on Instagram has more followers than me, that somehow makes my points completely invalid? This is seriously your best fucking counter-argument against me. You know, I'm willing to bet you took that small joke I made way too fucking personally, considering the fact you have a DeviantArt account. Oh yeah, by the way, this dude has a DeviantArt account linked to his YouTube bio, and you know some of the shit on there truly is disturbing to say the very least. All I'ma say is you draw a bit more than cat girls, to say the very least. But if any of you plan on checking out his DeviantArt account out of sheer morbid curiosity, don't say I didn't warn you.
And makes money off said art. So unlike you, Ink Tiger gets paid.
That somehow proves they're superior to me. You know, by that same logic, human traffickers are better people than me. Also, I actually have a job, so cool, I guess.
My point was that you weren't monetized and drawing furry porn is a lucrative business venture. And before you try to come up with some counter on the same level as,
but people also make money off selling farts in jars and killing people.
You know, that example was just way too specific to just be a coincidence. You definitely seem like the target demographic for that type of shit.
Realize that selling art of a grown woman with an animal head hurts no one but your own sensibilities.
Yeah, and my sensibilities are telling me that type of shit in Frieza in general deserve the German 1939 easy bake oven treatment. Nothing you can say or do will change my stance on the matter.
And that a print of a dog girl isn't a human byproduct. You are making a false equivalency, you fucking spunk muppet. You fucking spunk muppet.
Again, I could give two fucks about what you have to say about furry porn. It's not gonna change my opinion that it's pure degenerate behavior.
I love how some people will try to paint a cat girl as being an abomination or some shit when you fuckers clearly haven't played a Resident Evil game if you think this is on the same level as this.
You're right, dude, they're not on the same level. The image on the right is something I can actually kill in a video game, while the image on the left makes me want to fucking gouge my eyes out. Like, dude, the shit on the left is something people like yourself jerk off to. While I'm here to hear about people waxing their carrots to Resident Evil monsters, the fact you thought this was some sort of gotcha moment is beyond retarded.
And to further rub it in, SaberSpark has more subs than you.
What is SaberSpark having more subscribers than me supposed to prove? What, are all my criticisms automatically invalid just because some random motherfucker than me has a larger following?
Majira Strawberry has more subs than you. Fluke has more subs than you. Monty Wolf has more subs than you, and I have more subs than you.
Yeah, well, if this video proves anything, it's definitely that intelligence doesn't come with a subscriber count. I mean, dude, do you know who had a larger following than both of us? Fucking Adolf Hitler and that motherfucker easy baked oven 6 million Jews. What, is he fucking dying? Did Lee Harvey Oswald come back from the dead to save us from this shit? I mean, better late than never, I guess, but too bad he didn't show up earlier. Then I wouldn't have to make this fucking video.
But my point was that it was me trying to rub it in, which obviously went the way of the Hindenburg considering your response.
You at most have like less than 100 more subscribers than me? Big fucking deal. I mean, dude, please enlighten me what there even is to rub in to begin with, considering I blow your fucking channel out of the water in terms of views. What good are subscribers if they don't even watch your shit? I normally wouldn't be this petty, but seeing how you started it, I think it's only fair.
And finally,
at the end of the day, I don't think you're gonna be too happy with how this situation turns out once this video comes out. Like, I know you probably think you're some hot shit, but spoiler alert, you're not untouchable.
Considering half this video has you missing the point several times, ignoring points altogether, and trying your damnedest to avoid admitting that you were flat out wrong, I think you need to look in the mirror, you bad accent having, gaslighting, pompous fucking limp dick cock breath.
At this point, I don't think I even need to counter that with a response. Also, you have to try that hard to insult someone, maybe take that as a hint you're simply not cut out for this.
Overall, I will readily admit that you made good points, like me being a hypocrite when I call you the one being in an echo chamber while not having any idea of why someone would dislike Rift Apart.
You say that, but you still act like a hypocrite throughout this video, so fucking congratulations, you played yourself.
But you missed the point several times, refused to admit being wrong, painted me as having no good points whatsoever, and lied about what I did. Granted, you didn't do much of that last thing.
What did I lie about? Oh wait, is it me saying you acted like I slandered Sony for calling the DualSense a vibrator? Yeah, I'm fucking done. This dude is beyond saving.
I seriously don't get why this had to be the guy that made a response video.
Because you literally made a fucking video on me? I don't get why it's so hard to understand why it would make sense for me to respond.
It couldn't have been someone with more mental acuity.
You are the last person to be calling me retarded, especially considering the fact you're essentially reusing an insult I made towards you in my video. Of all the people who are gonna make an exposed video on me, it just had to be this guy. Like, you know, I'm starting to feel kind of bad in a way. Me making this response feels like picking on someone with Down syndrome.
Like Brother Near 2.0, or Bada Kanta, or Psychonautic Therapy, or Kim Josh-un? No? Nobody like that? Okay.
Don't get me wrong, as much as I would love to see Bata Kanta or Kim Josh-un roast the shit out of you, I don't get what they have to do with the situation. I mean, you could make the claim that Near and Psychonautic Therapy are somewhat involved, so a response from them could be warranted, but you literally just come off as an attention whore. But in the end, it seems like you got your wish, and how both Near and Psycho are planning to make their own videos on this shit, so congrats, dude. Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame before being laughed off of the internet.
That's all I have the patience for today. Do not go out of your way to harass people I talk about. You're not welcome in my garage.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Truly a tragedy.
Hopefully this is where this shit ends because I'm tired of this and I do not want this to go on any longer than it has to.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
And I know that sounds rich coming from me, but fuck off. But other than that, thanks for watching and gotta zoom.
Yeah, no, God is not Zoom. God is fucking dead if he allowed videos like this to be made and you fucking killed him. Jesus fucking Christ.
My video was pure retardation. I said absolutely nothing of value whatsoever. Because I'm a retard, I tried to get sympathy points. But that's not gonna happen because I'm the stupid bitch. It would have fucking ended there. But of course not. Because I want more enlarged cocks because I'm Pickled Rick.
But yeah, with that the video ends. And you know, normally I would end the video giving a sarcastic rundown including some highlights. But instead I thought I would end this video addressing a criticism I can see some people making. And it being the question of why I made this video after Roadbreach already unlisted his videos on me and made an apology. You know, I can understand how it might come off as me being petty, but like I said earlier, I find the timing of the apology video all too fucking convenient. I may be alone on this, but I just don't fucking buy it after this dude went back on his word several times and revived the drama over lesser things like Discord squabble. So in the end, Roadbreach, you only have yourself to blame. You've made the bed, now fucking lay in it.